yesterday we've been redoing Tori's room. We had it painted, we got a new bed, we got things to go on the wall, and she's on this retreat, and so I knew that she'd be tired, and I wanted to come home and her to come home and just have her room kind of set up so she wasn't discombobulated one more day. And so it's hot, and I'm moving furniture, and I'm cleaning carpets, and it's still just not clicking, and it's like, should we move this here, should we move that there, and I just sat there, and I'm tired, I'm like, you know what, I have no idea how this is supposed to come together, maybe we're missing something, and I realized that originally I thought that the message I was to bring today just was not connecting, it wasn't coming together, and I called Kurt, and I'm like, well, maybe we should just watch a video, and he's like, well, follow that through, and I just realized that that's kind of it, that place where it's not connecting. I don't know. And there's the Bible verse, trust God from the bottom of your heart. Don't try to figure out everything on your own. Listen to God's voice in everything you do, everywhere you go. He's the one who will keep you on track. And I think about when people say that, when I'm processing something, I'm not really sure, I can't put other pieces of the puzzle. And as a community, as a world, it's like, where do you work? Are you going to pay the bills? How's this going? And, sometimes I just can't tell you. I don't know. In fact, my 20th class reunion was this summer. And I didn't go because I really didn't feel like trying to answer those kind of questions to somebody that I don't really know. I don't know. I am currently unemployed. I've enrolled in school. I'm almost 40. I have a teenager that lives halfway across the country. I have one that lives with me. I have a certain amount of savings, but I just know that I'm where I'm supposed to be. And how do you explain that? I don't know. I don't know. And I'm a figure it out person. I want it to make sense. I think we all do. And even when I had this big plan, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to have a house, and it's going to look like this, and I have this kind of job, and I know who I'm coming home to every night, and I know who my friends are, and I know how things are. Even then, that's easier to say. I have faith. I can trust in God with the bottom of my heart, and But the truth is even if I have a map, one big gust of wind, and it's all different. Who knows where you're going to go? And so that faith is necessary. I have found, whether I can explain how my life looks every day, what's going to happen, who's around me, and then there's that old way that I was talking about God. God is in control. God has this. Like I don't get a say in it at all. Like I'm just some rigid puppet, and I've never liked that, and that caused some rebellion. No, I want nothing to do with that. And I remember one of the first times that I sat, we were doing the Getting Your Feet Wet, and it talks about co-creating. And there are a lot of things that I think I knew in my heart, but it wasn't until I saw those words, I'm like, that's it. If God just has a magic wand and makes everything happen, then why am I even here? What's the point of my presence on the planet? Or if something goes bad, it means because I messed it up, or because, God is teaching me something. And that took me a while to work through too, because that whole teaching me a lesson, I realized one day that I don't want to show my kids that get up and try again after you've fallen down. They're learning how to ride their bike and they fall over, they get scraped. I'm like, come on, you can do it, it's okay, get back on the bike. I'm not going to push them down first. So I started thinking about that if I, as a fallible human, am not going to intentionally inflict harm on my children, then probably the daddy father that is there for me is probably not going to push me off the bike to teach me something. That life is what it is, and that's the other, I don't know. I don't know why that bad thing happened. I don't know why that person in Colorado shot. I don't know why there are people dying without health insurance. I just don't know. What I do know is that in that time of my life where everything was planned and it looked great and I could answer all your questions, something still felt wrong. There was something off. I pay all the bills, it looked okay, and why? That there was still just something missing, and and I couldn't tell you what that was either, not at the time. And so why did the journey go the way it did? I don't know. But I'm here. And so that trusting with God with all your heart sometimes sounds like a quip that people tell you, just trust God with all your heart. It'll all be okay, and sometimes people, I think, really mean it, and sometimes it's just, they don't know either, but they're trying to throw something at you, Just have faith, I just remember, faith is the opposite of fear. Well, that's great, but what do I do? I don't know what to do. Tell me what to do. Or I have decisions to make, and I could take a poll of 20 people, so do I take the average of that? How do I even know? And I found that the biggest gift is the people that go, I think you need to find out what God needs you to do, whether it makes any sense or not. So then this goes back to that relationship, having that listen for God's voice in everything you do. Well, what does God's voice even sound like? Is this booming thing? Is it I'm praying about something and a truck goes by that says have hope? Is it that? Is it watching the birds? Is it feeling this thunderstorm? Is it, the people that are telling you need to watch out for that, or you did this wrong, or what does God's voice sound like? And so that comes with relationship, with your friends.
Whoa. What does God's voice sound like? Oh my goodness. That's right. If you were getting sleepy,
All right.
And then God showed up.
And then God showed up. Exactly. And sometimes for me, it feels that big and that poignant. And sometimes I just go, I'm just going to do what's in front of me because I'm not really sure. And I come to the conclusion that I can't really screw it all up so bad that it all ends. The things that look like the biggest mistakes in my life, the lowest places I've been, turned out to grow the most beautiful adventures ever. It turned out to show me what love was about in ways I couldn't even consider. Almost a year ago, my son went to Texas. That was hard. It was one of the most loving things I've done. And there were people who did not understand that. You're sending your kid away. He's in trouble. What are you doing? I didn't send them away. I knew the limitations of my help for him. That as a 16-year-old young man with some trouble, he needs men. I'm not it. I've done everything I could think of. We've gone to one more counselor, one more medicine, one more this, one more that, and I just realized that at some point, young men need men. So he went to live with his father, who was a good man, a strong man, surrounded by a family of good, strong men. Because it would be very selfish for me to say, I don't want to be without my boy. But at some point, they have their own life to live. And so if I took that poll of 20 people, well, which people do you poll? And then what, do you take a weighted one, or do some people have more value than others? And it's not that I don't discuss the plan with others, because I do. Because I, on my own accord, can't see the whole picture. And those ways that you hear God's voice, sometimes in your friend, going, did you think about this side? The last 10 times you did that, Bridget, you kind of ran into the wall. So this might be different, I don't know, but I just thought I'd remind you. And so learning how to hear God's voice. And I think about it, I don't remember anybody ever teaching me that. What does that look like? In church they say read the word. Well, there's contradictions all over the place. And if I look up this word here, it means this, and this word here, or what out of that Bible, and that is helpful. And Kurt has taught taught me the stories, to listen to God's voice. I know His nature through the stories, over and over. You know, it was really on my heart that I had to share something with a friend of mine, and I didn't want to. I just didn't think I ought to, and I was kind of irritated with the whole thing, and I remember praying, I'm like, you know what? If you want that dealt with, you're going to have to send somebody else. I don't want to. And the next thought came to me was the story of Jonah and the whale. I'm like, oh, all right, I really would rather just cut to the chase and do what you asked me to do rather than end up in the belly of a whale. And I've got to go do it anyway. So, when I start to realize those things, and so through the Word of the Lord, through the Bible, we talk about the stories. And I may not be able to quote Scripture, and maybe I don't remember this or that, or how it all shakes out, or who begat who, but I can tell you the stories. I can see how God moves. It's just, a lot of times it's just hear me, Bridget. Like, that's what He did with Jonah. Just hear me. Just see my love. Have a minute to think about it. Really think about what I'm seeing there in the belly of the whale. And loving people. And in the end, that I know God's love is moving in this, in the biggest of the mess. And all the tidal waves, and the hurricanes, and the shootings, and those quiet moments, and, when everything is going really right, and you can see God in every breath, and your dreams are coming true. God is in that moment just as much as when you're laying there and everything you do just got wrong. He's there. Did He make it all happen? Did I make it happen? Probably a combination of both. My selfishness does get me into problems where I feel pretty uncomfortable. But there are times I know for sure I'm acting in love and it still doesn't feel really all that comfortable. But I know that even if it's falling apart and even if it's blossoming beautifully, that He's right there, that He's part of it, He's a piece of it. And there's no way I can understand it all. I have a real affinity for hawks. And I think about it, and we were just talking about it this week, that a hawk is like our Father. They can see the whole picture, sees where the road goes, sees who's behind you, sees what's there and where you're going and what can happen. But I gotta take every step. I gotta remember I probably shouldn't just take candy bars if I need nourishment, or cookies. Cookies are not nourishment, I found out. That God keeps me on track. I don't even need to figure out how to keep me on track. Sometimes I think, I need to make sure it's okay. I need to be making sure that I have this relationship with God. I need to make sure that I go to church every week. I need to make sure that I pray every day. That's still all up to me. There are days I just don't even want to pray. There are days I might skip church. There are days I don't call and talk. There are days when, I talk more than I ought to. And that God keeps me on track. That God keeps me on track. It's not even up to me to make that relationship work. And that was huge. I realized that this relationship with my Creator, my Savior, is not even all up to me to make happen. That it is a relationship. It is that co-creating. Because how can I know? And sometimes I'm not available, and sometimes I'm irritated, and sometimes I don't want to listen at all. Because I don't understand. And that trying to understand usually keeps me blocked. I think, I don't know what you're doing here, so I'm going to go over there and you can do whatever you think you got to do. And I am a little rebellious. I have a little spunk, but that also takes me far. It keeps me going when the 20 people I just polled said, this is a bad plan, but I know it's not. I knew without a doubt that quitting my job was the right thing to do. And that may not be everybody's right thing to do, but I knew it was right for me, and the timing was very obvious. And when I left my job, I had no worries that I would get a new one. I didn't. It was just everything was gonna be okay. I knew everything was gonna be okay, but in my mind, I thought it was all gonna play out this way. Then a series of strange coincidences. And I'm going back to school. How does that work?